Okay, we're live.
Well, hey.
How is it, everyone? Take these out. And here we are, once again, at Winger Subaru Greenlane with our friends. The friendly salesman here. Hey,
And they are friendly, mate.
very friendly guys.
Because, yep, this is all about celebrating my time
Yes.
with you, Paul, and
Yes.
Ocean Angler,
Yep,
and with Winger Subaru.
yep.
And what better way to go and say thank you to the people at Winger Subaru for the years of support
Yes,
than when it came time for me to go and leave
yes.
and get my own car. Guess what I bought, mate?
What?
BMW. No, no. No,
Oh, here we go. It's all on already, people.
So no, I bought myself a Subaru XV.
Right.
It's another all-wheel drive, so
Yes.
just a bit of a smaller boot because
Yep.
I won't have all my samples and stuff in there
Right.
anymore. So yeah, look, it was the longest test drive for what was it,
Yeah.
5 years of,
Yeah.
of being with Subaru,
Yes.
having an Outback,
Yes.
and I've been really, really happy with it. Like, it couldn't fit my lifestyle any better.
Yeah.
It's smart, it's practical,
Such a
rugged,
car, so-
reliable.
Yeah.
Got the bells and whistles.
Yeah.
Although having said that, my one's got a few less bells and whistles. Like, I've really missed my, you know how you can just press a button and the boot lifts
Oh,
up.
yes, yep.
So I've got to go and work on my strength of my arms to actually
Right.
lift the boot
Probably
now.
good for you, mate.
I
Yeah, yeah.
reckon. But yeah, stoked to have something that's so similar to what I've had for the last 5 years,
Yes.
and
Yeah, that's good.
which will like that's. I came here. I'd actually seen quite a few other brands first.
Yes.
I came here and found the XV with a tow bar, with
Awesome.
rubber boot liners and footwell liners as well. So I
Yes.
went, wow, that's just got to be me. So
Yes.
knew the product, loved it. So
Yeah, well, that's
I've
pretty
gone
good.
with them. Yeah.
Awesomeness for Subaru, you know, you come along, now you bought one, so that pretty much says it all, really, doesn't
does,
it?
yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you're starting to get a few of your fans. Gutted you're leaving. All the best, Mark. Hi, Mark and Paul. So the messages are starting to come
one.
through already
I've had one.
because it is Mark's final show, people.
My final show.
It's his final show, but I'm sure you'll see him round because he is moving on to North Shore Hunting and Fishing. So,
I am.
which is a pretty local store, so that's where you'll be if you want to go and see him.
Anyone who wants to carry on with fishing tips
Yeah.
of any sort, like, I mean, before I came to Ocean Angler, I was doing everything, a lot of game fishing
Yes.
as well, and bait fishing. I've got to say, soft baiting, I find it hard to go past it now,
I
mate.
know,
Like,
mate.
even before then, it was so rare for me to do any
I know.
bait fishing. Because especially when you got Z-Mans, they just last for so friggin'
Yeah.
long. It's just something which you're using your brain, you're being proactive. If you want to go
Yeah.
and sit back with a beer, it's probably not for you.
No.
You can just go and
Yeah.
maybe put your rod in the holder and let's
Yeah.
drag it along and still
Yeah.
catch fish. But
Yeah.
for the best soft baiters are always going to be the more active people.
Yes.
So it's no wonder that soft baiting just grabbed me and just
Oh, I'm the
because
same.
every time you cast,
Yeah.
like you're thinking, have I done the right angle?
Yeah.
Should I wind a little bit?
There's so much
Have
to
I
it.
got the right lure?
Yeah.
Have I got the right weight?
Yeah.
Is there too much glare for me to properly see my line?
Yeah.
Just so many different things, eh?
Yeah.
So, and that's why I like the stick baiting and stuff. That's why I went with. That's why I loved having Maria duck
Right,
dives and
right.
legatos and all
Yeah.
that sort of stuff too. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's real similar.
Yeah.
Just working what action's going to work and being
Sure.
proactive.
Yeah.
And it makes an old fella like me feel like I've had a bit of a workout at the end of the day. Although going with people like Andre and
Yes.
Josh Darby, who are just weapons all day. They're half the age of me.
Yeah.
And
Keeps you
you know,
fit, mate.
oh mate, like I struggle. At the end of the day, I'm going, geez. Oh.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it keeps me going, and that's why I love going with the younger guys because it
Yeah.
just is just such
Yeah.
good momentum. And there is always that, even though we don't necessarily say, we just kicked your ass. Like everyone does at the end of the day, to their friends, but at the time you don't. But it just that competitive undercurrent,
Yeah.
it just tends to
Well,
keep you going.
that's what keeps us, developing
Yeah,
and
that's right.
trying to
Working
get better
hard, yeah.
and thinking our brains are working to come up with better ideas and techniques and your casting angles,
Yep.
all that stuff.
That's right. Looking
makes
for
a
that
big
edge, aren't
difference.
you?
You're just always looking for that edge because you are trying to beat your mate, really, yeah. And
Well, have a
this
good time
and
as
it's
well.
such an active way of fishing, I find myself, I love the deep water fishing as well. The microbaiting is my thing. I just love that. But you know, I'd rather do that than the other type of fishing,
Yeah,
really.
yeah.
And I'm saying no to, you know, when I come game fishing, oh, I'm actually going
I have
microboating
too.
for
I have
carwai.
too.
Yeah. So, you know, it's highly
Yeah,
addictive.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
highly addictive.
I-
But it's just that when if you're a thinking fisherman and you're tactical and it's, you know, that's what it's all about. Eh?
I did have Dave from Hunting and Fishing say, "Hey, do you want to come out, you know, fishing for broadbill
Yeah.
and getting pooker and bass and that sort of thing?"
Yeah.
And I had to say to him, "Well, actually, just the same as you, I'm going with John to maybe the Upper Harbour or Rangitoto Channel to go and catch some panties."
Yeah.
But I've always stuck to my original
Yeah.
arrangements. That's
Yeah.
the other thing as well.
Yeah. It's just so much fun, eh, mate?
But yeah, locally, there are some things to report. Like, why don't you start off with your daughter, mate? Like, your daughter is a weapon
Oh, yeah.
with G-bombs.
Yeah, g'day Mel. Thanks. Mel saying congratulations on the local job.
Oh, cheers.
That's good.
Thank you.
Um,
Thanks, Mel.
So yeah, my daughter
And thanks, Tracy.
And my daughter and sliding lures is she's caught like she's 12 and the past 3 or 4 months she's caught, you know, a kingfish over 14 kilos.
Wow.
And the last time we went out, we just went out off Manly Beach and popped around to Army Bay to that little reef structure. We saw a few carwai boiling up. So burned over, dropped the G-bomb down, and then she had a one hour fight on the bender rod and landed a 14.8 kilo kingfish.
That is an awesome.
So
thing.
yeah, she's getting really good at fighting the fish, and yeah, it was a great fish and a great tussle, and you know, not far from Auckland, mate. Like you could have been there in your kayak. It was not far off Army Bay at all, and yeah, so we're back into enjoying that kind of deep water fishing with the lures as well. You know, really good for kids and good for getting a feed as well. And just really enjoying the G-bomb fishing with the benders at the moment as well.
Because it hasn't just been local nearby, it's also been like with the cooler currents, you've had really good deeper water as well.
Oh yes, so I've been out, you know, first time I went out looking for the autumn workups, you know, found them, and yeah, it was all on. There was some pretty good workups happening, and you know, the dolphins were there and the pilchards were there, and had a really good day. Actually went out on old charters with Nick Key, mate.
Neat.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
wow.
he took us out, and he's got
Wow, with Nick.
yeah.
Jeez.
So he's one of the captains here
Jeez.
as well now, and he's a wealth of knowledge in the Hauraki Gulf.
He's a great asset to have.
And we you know, we think very similar about how we approach finding fish and what lures we're using, and yeah, we had a really good day, mate. It was and
Because
the
that's
good
right. Because
thing
Mike's
is,
got a sore.
Mike's got a sore foot. But the good thing is, we didn't catch any of those skinny white fleshed ones, which I've been a bit worried about. These were all the real big.
They might be dead, mate.
The real big fat ones that, you know, when you're filleting them, you get that fat on your eyes. You go, wow, look at that. That's a really good fish. So we're back into that, mate, which makes me a lot happier. Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of which, like, there's some things that I want to touch on. You know, just because it's partly, you know, like because I'd like to have a few of the aspects that's made this journey so rewarding.
Right.
And one of them is that, you know, we were a little bit at odds at the beginning about the survivability of fish caught shallow and deep.
Yes.
There's, you know, very different research coming back on whether fish from the deep actually survive being brought up and then let go. Yes, they swim away, but very often they've got burst swim bladders or ruptured internal organs, that sort of thing. So they reckon some of them say they actually survive remarkably well. Others say that they don't. And so for us, I know that I've been as bad a person as any in the past.
Yes.
Where we would sometimes catch cricket scores pretty much of fish throughout the day, you know, because like you're just trying to get the biggest possible fish because you could. Just catching and releasing. Oh yeah, we let them go, you know, like we got 150, 200 fish, you know. I think that's got the potential to have a big impact on the fishery if we're wrong. You know, the people who think that they survive but they're wrong. You know, this has definitely got the potential to cause an impact of grave proportions. So we should make sure. Was it all right?
No, it's all right. You keep talking.
Okay. So when Paul said to me, look, you know, if you're out there in the deep water and you catch a decent, like when you've caught your limit, you should really stop because we just don't know that they're surviving. And so it took me a while to get on board because I had these really positive things saying that they actually survived okay, but there's other people saying no.
So it's a bit of an unknown.
Yeah. So I think where there's doubt, you have to actually just err on the side of caution and stop fishing in the deep. go shallow or go and catch kingies instead, you know, something like that. So I'm quite proud of the message that we put through to people to be more sustainable in their thoughts, in their tactics. Just be sure that you are going to have a fishery to fish in years' time, especially for your kids and that sort of thing. That's why I fish shallows. That's why I fish shallows with soft baits, because it just suits catch and release. And I even have thought about having barbless hooks to make it even easier to let fish go.
Yes.
Because a lot of people
That's a good idea.
people who aren't very good at taking hooks out, muck around and the fish is in poor shape by the time it's let go. And if you keep tension on, they'll stay on, So it's only really poor technique that'll allow them to get off.
Yes.
So having barbless hooks might actually be a good move, I don't know.
Right, so I just got one comment saying the sound is bad, but we're getting good sound here. If anyone else has got bad sound, can you let us know pretty quick?
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure it's working. Yeah.
So yeah, that's one aspect. Another aspect that I'm quite proud of having a part of is our introduction of UV clothing, like the gloves, and also having a buff.
Yes.
Because I think that it's critical for us and our younger people to take precautions, look after themselves, because both of us have actually had some. Is it a problem?
No, it's all good. Everyone can hear.
Having us with lesions and skin cancer and that sort of thing, no good for people at all. So you're not invincible, young people. Like look at me. Like I've had, which side is it? I think it might be this one.
Yeah,
I've still got a few scars from having a certain medication that actually, like an acid, that just bites away the surface layers.
Yeah, very so important.
So yeah, once again, you're on the side of caution. Go and protect yourself. Have some decent gloves. Our ones are bloody good, mate. Like they are as good as anyone's, and like half the price of most of them. So they're easy to wear. There's just enough protection from spines. Like it's not going to stop spines, but it's certainly going to cut down on them. They give you some grip,
right?
And it just stops the tops of your hands from getting an absolute hammering. Yeah, same. So we're the same.
Yeah.
Because you're just holding the gear like that, and just having something over your face.
Yeah.
Because like I'm terrible at putting on sunscreen.
Yeah.
So just cutting that down. Also just the wind, so you're not getting chapped lips and cold sores and stuff like that as well. Bloody fantastic. And the cold and the sun, mate. Like I find it just takes the chill off as well in the winter. So it's not just a summer thing. It works real well. Other than that, this is the time for squid, mate.
Squid?
Like
I'm starting to see lots of squid turn up.
Yep.
For sure.
And we've had several people say that there's good numbers of squid. And the great thing is that at this time of the year, of course, we've got a really good crossover of some really big ones from last season and some quite small ones that are coming on. That's why you can either use the little 1.8 satiyas or the 2.5s, which tend to go and actually attract the larger models, but still, if you get a smaller one that's pretty ravenous, they're going to go and nail these. Now, the ones that I like the best, the ones that you should start with, I reckon, these are the ones that sell the best. The two natural ones, especially during the day, those ones there go real well. There's also some with a bit of lumo on that can really make a difference. I haven't actually got the pink one, but there's orange and pink are the high-vis ones that work super well at night. Once again, having the live searches can sometimes be better because they've got the rattle. I've actually got a couple here.
Yes.
So having that rattle with it's a specific rattle that's 600 kilohertz, which is exactly the right frequency for the squid to hear through the water and be attracted over to check it out. It's a bit like we hear when you're underneath the water and you hear all the clicks and the ticks from fish feeding. It's what brings them over to have a look. So that one there, yes, you pay twice as much, and it's got the thermal jacket to make it a little bit warmer so that it feels like a real bait fish. And so all up, that one there just makes a fantastic.
It's probably one of my favourite ones, actually.
Yeah, especially with the it's got the luminous sort of a zigzag on the side there, so you can shine it up when you cast it out.
And I was actually listening to someone the other day about squid fishing, and they were going on about if the lumo is too much, like it hasn't been thought about, it can actually scare them away.
Yeah. So let it dull down or don't shine it up at all. And sometimes just having a sort of like a whitish one can be really good as well. There's plenty of people have been telling me that one's been fantastic. So that white out
pretty
or
cool,
different types there.
Yep.
As I say, 2.5 seems to be a very good size to, just around this time, or the 1.8 if you're just targeting the smaller ones.
Right.
But they're in schools, mate. They're in schools. So,
Yeah, well, I can't wait to get down and
small
get
groups.
myself a feed myself, mate, under the harbour bridge there in along Tamaki Drive.
Well, it
seems to be the place to go, eh?
Yep.
Yeah.
And off some of the wharves as well.
Yeah.
Have been going really well, and of course, around T Point.
Yeah, and we've got, this is probably the first season we've had lots of Yamashita stock. Normally we're struggling because it's hard to get the Yamashita stock sometimes because they don't hold stock, they just manufacture to what you want. And so, but this year we've got heaps of stock. We've got lots of new ones as well, like those
global
global colours. We've got the glow
neon
glow, and we've got those tune heads which you can put on the front to give them a bit more flotation to slow down the sink a bit. So that's good.
And I don't know how anyone can not have one of these if they're into squid.
Yeah. This
little thing here actually goes onto the tines and straightens them out. Like even the ones that I had here, I was bringing today. I noticed that because they'd had squid on before or been worked through the weed, that they'd become distorted.
Right.
And so having this little pipe there that we can actually bend it back into perfect position, so much better than if it's on a rock or the side of your boat or something like that. Because not only is it not precise, but it tends to blunten the tines as well.
Sure.
So yeah, squid fishing has started, folks.
Excellent.
Is there anything else you want to say, mate? Oh, actually, one thing.
No, I want you to do all the talking, mate.
Okay. People are going to be sick. People are going to be absolutely sick of me by the end of this. That's really good timing. Like you'll never have to hear my voice again with Paul unless I just do a little guest spot. Have we actually got? Some squid rods to sell?
Yes.
This year, so we have got some
calamari sticks. Yep.
Cool. Okay.
Yep.
So calamari sticks for those people who want to do it. But if you want to go and do some micro baiting and squid fishing at the same time, we've got these little suckers here, the tan suey. And this is an ongoing project for us, isn't it? Because like both of us are really passionate about our microbaiting at the moment because things have changed. It's like the fishery means that there's a lot more fish the size that is absolutely perfect for this. So you don't need such heavy gear anymore. It's more enjoyable. You're getting more action. You're having more fun doing it, and you're still catching some pretty decent fish with them as well. So at the moment, we're just improving them. My part was I just extended the butt a little bit, but possibly it needs to be even more. I don't know.
Yeah, well, this is this is the journey we're on, mate.
Because I know that a lot of people just they like to just have. There are some people who prefer not to have a long butt section. When I cast, because I'm so used to normal soft baiting gear, it always feels wrong to me. Yeah. So I couldn't help but want this a little bit longer, even though it's been made by Ben Booth. I mean, he was the guy who originally did it. He did. And there must have been good reasons for it, and I should have probably spoken to him about it. Yeah. But I've just made this a little longer. Yes. And you should see
Is that the one that's a little bit longer, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this one here, we've extended the butt section so that you can cast a bit further, especially into a wind. That'll really help cover the area better. So this, whether you're fishing little soft baits or whether you're fishing squid baits, it really will help. Now, this
interesting. You've got that bait on, mate.
It's reminded me because this is what I used last time. Yeah. And I was with my friend John, and we were talking about cricket scores of fish. Well, we couldn't get back in because of the tide, so we had to keep fishing. Luckily, we were in just 5 to 10 metres, so we caught so many fish, and 2/3. The good news was 2/3 of them would have been legal. Yes. And I used this here is a.
It's my secret weapon,
is actually a trout eyes finesse, a finesse trout eyes, I think. Yep, that's the trout eyes. Yep. And it's a 1 burrow, and you get them from about a 1/16 of an ounce through to an 1/8, and then one quarter, which is this one here. And they have different eyes on them. I find that there's a lot more strength in them. I find that they suit this style of soft bait really well.
Because it's so fat, hey?
These are minnows, which we've hardly pushed at all. It's mostly been for trout. Yeah. But the 3 and 4 inch ones of these on this jig head. Let me hold it up
so people can see.
This one's actually called Midnight Oil. And I don't know how many snapper I caught on that, but look how good a shape it is still in. Yeah. Maybe 60, I've maybe caught 60 snapper on that in the shallows. and it's still in really good shape. So imagine that. It's got a really good UV reflective, like it's just one example of what works, but that one there has been absolute winner. So for people who want to have just a little bit more power than the little Finesse size, which is very, very cute and which catches a lot of fish.
That one, man, that is
especially this one here.
That's so hard to beat.
Sorry, it's got a bit of a dimple in it because I closed it in my tackle box.
Okay.
So it looks like it's segmented, but we actually fished these. We actually put these on a little bit different. In fact, I think it was Paul who came up with the worm hooking technique, where you go out through the chin, which is round near the sort of gills where the gills would be, and then you rehook it back there. With this style, with these TRD minnows, which is probably it is a real, these are called all my double figure snapper
that
on
rig.
this little gear. That works really, really well. So if you want to catch lots of fish and sort of really be into the spirit of finesse fishing, then that one is the way to go.
Can I ask you a question? Like, so that's a real thin gauge hook, right?
Yep.
That's just a little bit thicker.
I was just getting onto it.
Oh, okay.
I was just getting onto it.
Okay.
You can still just lift your rod and that hook will go in.
Yeah. But don't you find, like, it's really opened my eyes up to hook gauge.
How effective it is.
I'm going, I don't care about the hook gauge, I just want a strong one. But you try that one, then try the one that's probably 1 mil thicker or something. It makes a big difference to the hookup rate, I think.
It's almost almost impossible for them not to take the hook as well.
Yeah, this is thin, weak hook, but a hookup rate is through the roof.
Phenomenal.
So you got just a little bit, and your hookup rate does go down.
But with this one burrow, still pretty good. And like it's still small enough and sharp enough and thin enough just to lift the rod, even this little whippy rod here, and set the hook. So to me, it's still doing its job really, really well. It just means that if you do hook double figure snapper, big kingfish, you can put a bit more weight on it, not worry about it opening up. I reckon it's probably good for 6 kilo, but I haven't done enough yet with it to really find out. But man, I don't know whether you can see that head, but there's just little teeth marks just all over it because, as I say, I just used it just one day for an extended session, and those fish were absolutely nailing it. So that was really cool. So that's one of the things that I've really whoops, we've gone all fuzzy for some reason.
It'll come back. Hopefully.
Come on, camera. Come on, come back. Come on. You can do it. What's happening?
Huh? Don't know. Oh dear. Hang on. What's happened?
I freaked it out by going too close.
Oh no!
Now we're having malfunctions all over the place. So
hang on, people.
Paul's dropped all the audio stuff. Oh yeah, there we go. Cool.
There we go. Can everyone still hear us? Sorry about the muppetry. I was just saying to Mark, how I've got it sussed. It's only taken about 5 years to get all the equipment sussed, but
just as I'm leaving, we got it sussed.
Yeah.
And as I say, like, sorry to drone on a bit myself. Like,
no, you go for your life, mate.
I'm just going to take the opportunity.
Get it all out there.
But yeah, as we were saying, like, I think that it really has become the era of the lighter gear, just to get the most out of our fishing, and I can see a lot developing. Like, obviously, we didn't come up with making small soft baits work. It's been there all the time, but I think it's the recognition of its time.
Yes.
The fact that you can now, do better. Realistically with lighter tackle, and I think it's going to evolve and just become better and better.
Once you give it it's kind of one of those things where there's a bit of hesitancy to give it a go, but once you give it a go, you go, wow, wish I discovered this a long time ago.
Yeah, because then you can start getting into like lots of little cool ones. Like this Space Guppy, mate.
Yeah, which, so we've kind of got 4 now that we use, So we had, the Slim Swim. I went from that one. And then I crayfish. Now I'm pretty hooked on that,
That's good too, mate. This shiner.
Yeah.
That shiner I found really good as well. That's just, shiner and the grubs. So that's
and shiner. That's I've used that a bit too. That's quite.
So that went really well.
But I wonder why that's so good, mate. Because it's just a tube of plastic. It's nothing special at all,
Yeah.
It's just like a tube of plastic. It's all
And
it is.
it's got no wriggle or anything.
It's got no wriggle. It just
Well,
sits
a little
on
bit of wriggle.
Just
but
sits on the bottom like that, I reckon. Just
but it's being eaten
I don't know
before
why
it even
it's so
gets to the
good.
bottom.
But it interests me about, you know, the TRD system, the Ned rig in
Yeah.
the USA, where it's pretty much just a stump of plastic and it sits on the
Yeah.
bottom, and it's a massive.
I couldn't do it.
It's like a movement in America. How good it is.
They call it a TRD because it looks
Yeah.
like a turd.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah.
a little lump
Yeah,
of
Ned,
nothing.
it's called the Ned rig.
And
so,
it looks like it's had its tail bitten off.
so these are all kind of Ned rigs, aren't they? Yeah.
But the other thing that I just wanted to say is thanks, Paul, for letting me, you know, indulge myself and, you know, making up my own rods. Like
Yes.
first the Mega Wave, which
Yep.
I remember when I first got the sample, I went, oh, it's not really quite powerful enough in the butt section. And I took it out and I caught a bunch of fish, including one awesome kingfish with you that was like
yeah.
over 50 pound probably.
Yeah.
And I went, you know, do I need more, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
And it turned out to be a really good 6 kilo rod.
Yeah.
But I kept being, there was this thing bugging me that I just wanted a bit more power.
Yep.
And so to be able to get out and put everything that I know about soft baiting into one rod
Yeah,
and come up with
yeah.
with a Top Gun,
Yeah.
which I believe does embody, you know, all that knowledge. It's got the sensitivity, it's got the castability, it's got handling the line, it's got power.
Yes.
It was a dream realised for me, you know. So
Awesome.
thanks for letting me
Oh, my
do that,
pleasure,
mate.
mate.
Because
Yeah.
I think that it competes against rods that are twice
Yes.
that price, and
Yeah.
I still think it's better.
Yeah.
Like, because even the ones that are closest to it, like the foregrips aren't long
Yeah.
enough to go and, you know, put decent amount of
Yeah.
pressure, or
Yeah.
they don't have a very good, you know, like this. Reel seat is, I believe, the way to go. You know, like
Right.
it's really comfy, and
Yeah.
you got good castability
Yeah.
with it.
Yeah.
So
It's a beautiful
yeah,
rod,
I think it's something I like to leave behind as a legacy.
Good. Yeah.
You know,
Well, I'm
and-
glad you're proud of it, because you should be proud
Yeah.
of it. So it's a great rod.
and
Yeah.
and to have that same blank construction come through in the V2,
Yes.
and maybe the
Yeah.
the little
Yeah,
Tansui
so
makes
we've-
sense
Yeah,
to
so
me.
we've just got samples. So Mark's rod is made of a technique called crossfire. It's a type of construction which is very light and strong. So we've just had 2 samples sent for the microwave V2 and the Tansui rod made out of this new construction technique, which I'm going to, you know, have a play with over the next few weeks.
Yep, and I just wanted as a goodbye. Oh, actually not a goodbye yet, but I just thought people might be interested after all this time what my real favourite soft baits are. You know,
Oh yes,
out of the
I would like
huge-
to know.
out of the whole range.
Yes, your
Um,
favourite. Okay, are you going to pick one?
No, I think for people who want to just cut it down to 5, say 5
Okay.
colours.
All right, here we go,
For
Mark.
me, my
favourite
all-time
one.
favourite.
All-time favourite.
And I'd say I'm going to do it in probably order of
Make sure you
my
listen to this, people.
order of my favoritism is so nuked pilchard would be anytime I'm fishing
Let me
deep,
hold those up for you.
or if it's so nuked pilchard, just like it's just a legend in the far north.
Yep.
Oh, that makes it 6, isn't it? Okay, it's going to be 6.
Right,
So,
Nuke pilchard.
but I just like that one because of the fact that it's luminous, but it also has a natural baitfish.
Are these in any particular
coloration.
order?
Well, no, because like as you know, every day is different.
Okay.
So I love. Which will I go next? I reckon maybe bruised banana. Like you just don't know. I don't know.
What is it you're doing your favourite now?
These are all my favourites.
So why don't you
I
do
think the next
would
four
you
will all
be willing to
pretty
do
much
this?
the same.
So you do your 5 favourite. Would you be willing to pick one out of the bunch at the end? Say this is my all-time favourite. That if I only had one
probably,
colour. Okay, well let's
probably,
see how you
yeah.
go.
Okay, so the next 4 I just would be equally happy to go and cast with all day. The bruised banana, smoky shad. I actually have really enjoyed not only using the
Smoky
7-inch
shad, yeah.
smoky shad,
Yeah.
but the little 4-inch paddlers or the 5-inch
Right.
paddlers can be an absolute dynamite in the
Yep.
deep water as well.
Yep.
I really love those.
Let me,
So
what one's
so
that? Five
smoky
inch,
shad.
5-inch smoky shad.
Oh, well, actually,
That's
it
in
doesn't
there,
matter
people.
about what size, because like I've
Right.
even seen the 4-inch in that one
Yeah,
catch
that's a
like
great
over 30
colour,
pound
eh?
kingfish
Such
and
a
stuff
good
like
colour.
that. Because the 7-inch is actually one of my favourites in that as well.
It just doesn't look very assuming either, does it?
No,
It's just like
no.
a
Boring.
white and
It's
grey.
quite boring.
So some of
Yeah.
these soft baits that look boring are the best ones.
Yep. And probably Atomic Sunrise,
Yep.
just because it's nice and bright, and in dull conditions, you know, where it's murky and that sort of thing. But like bruised banana,
Yep.
just shows up really well. heaps of UV reflective qualities in it, and
Yep.
for similar reasons, motor oil, man, it's.
Motor
I mean,
oil.
that's on the end of the rod for so long, for so many years, just because no one could beat it. And I certainly found it was just so consistent. So motor oil looks like a piece of green snot, but for whatever reason, man, does it work?
Yeah, I don't know what's so good about that.
Because it looks like a hunk of weed.
Looks
or,
like a hunk of it's just like,
yeah.
why is it so good, mate?
And it has to be Laguna shrimp, for just so long now, that Laguna shrimp has been amazing.
Yeah.
And I'm real pleased that
I haven't really got into it yet, eh?
the 7-inch one
Yeah.
has just come in recently. I haven't had much experience with that one,
Yeah.
but Laguna shrimp has just been day in, day out, just supremo. So
Yeah, a few guys say that, like Josh Darby's he's into that colour, eh? Big time.
Yep. And just as a wild card,
wild card.
every now and then,
Yeah.
these sexy pennies, I shouldn't bring it up at the end, but
Paddle tail.
it doesn't really matter too much, but
Okay.
there are certain times of the year where those sexy pennies can't be beaten. I have a very good picture at home of me and John with 6 rods, and every single one of them has a sexy penny because
Really?
they were so obviously better than everything else.
Right.
But just when it is, I'm not sure. It seemed to be around about September, October, just leading up to the spawning season. So you know how they can be a bit fickle.
Yes, yes.
At that time, they just think about having babies.
Right.
So that worked there. So I thought we'd just finish off by.
Well, hang on.
What?
So you're 5. So are you still going to pick one out as your best?
Oh yeah,
very
that's
best?
the one in your hand, mate.
Oh, that one.
Yeah.
So that's
that
your
there.
all. So that
Yeah.
for your time fishing Z-mans.
Yeah.
This is your favourite one.
Yeah. That one, and followed by.
No, you need to pick one.
Followed by probably Bruised
pick
Banana
one, eh?
and Motor Oil. Yeah.
Oh wow! So there you
And
have
Smoky
it.
Shed.
There you
All
have it.
4 of those would be the best.
There's Mark's #1 pick for
Yeah.
colours. Oh, well done, mate. I know it's hard to pick one colour.
Yep.
So well done.
And look, Paul and I, when he first got me into Ocean Angler, he said to me, Mark, I can promise you we'll have more fun. And definitely the first few years before COVID, it was a lot of fun. We had some great times.
We did. We had some great
You got me
trips
into
away.
a lot of trouble.
Yes, got into
you
trouble.
did some dumb things that,
Yep.
or actually you helped me do dumb things myself. Such as, I'll always remember us going to go and get some dinner, I think it was.
Yeah.
And I had the boat on the back of my car, and we went to
Oh.
McDonald's at Warkworth.
Yes.
And you said to me, "Oh, mate," because I was going to park just in out in the big park, but I would have been across a few other people. And he goes, "Nah, mate, just go through the drive and it'll be sweet."
Yeah.
And so I went,
Drive through.
I don't know, mate, I don't know. And it'll be sweet. So we go along there, and we got about maybe 50 metres down there, and then there's a real sharp corner, and there's no way I could get round it in a car with a boat on the back.
Yeah.
And at that
We
point,
got stuck, didn't we?
the worst thing was there was a bunch of people behind us by the end, by just a few minutes later.
Yeah.
So we couldn't back out. And the manager comes out and he's all getting all worked. Oh, you cannot come through here, And he had to go and get everyone to back out, and then we had to just go and bloody back that car out and back the boat out, and it was just horrific.
Horrific, mate. So embarrassing.
That's typical of the sort of things that does happen when we get together.
Yep.
We kind of feed on each other's muppetry
Yep.
to create it. The other things that I think about was when I happened to, you actually did really well initially in the little challenges that we had when we were dragging.
Yeah.
Because I reckon I'd kick your ass most of the time. But
Right.
but in those early days
Yeah.
of dragging, you beat me several times, and I had to go and eat secret sauce. Like first of all, a spoonful of secret sauce. Then I had to go and have one on top of a caramel slice. That was actually the only time I've actually it's messed me up, because I've had it
So
since.
bad.
I've had quite a bit of secret sauce now.
Yeah.
But that was the only one, because it just was all wrong. Like the caramel and the and the mullet secret sauce together just didn't go.
No, it was horrible.
So that one was, and I was all frustrated and angry from
mate.
it was so unfair that you'd beaten me in these little challenges. I felt that I should have beaten you, but no. And then I happened to luckily. meet up with Wayne Downer, who's a big supporter of ours.
Yeah.
And my favourite all-time video is when he lost to me in a challenge.
Yeah.
And I'd come up with this consequence of him, Fishing and Adventure, a consequence whereby the loser had to have secret sauce squirted up their nostrils.
Oh, I remember that.
And so when I squeezed it up, because all this pent-up anger was in me, I squirted it real hard, and it must have gone right down in his nostrils, down into his throat.
Poor Wayne.
And he was just like doubled over, coughing and hicking. He's going, "No, mate, no, turn the camera off."
Terrible,
and all the secret sauce was coming out. I'd really love to go and find that video again, because it was just a classic.
So bad.
And a shame that we didn't have you with the lipstick on too, because Paul lasted about 5 minutes, and I actually last night in the middle of the night, because Paul said, stop the car, I can't have secret sauce on my lips anymore, because the deal was that we'd drive home with secret sauce all over his lips. He couldn't handle it. I was actually going to get him to go and have, because he's the only one who's ever Welshed on the deal, I was going to get him to have one today, but maybe Arnie can do it in the future. That'll be quite cool to see Paul actually carry through on his bet. So it'd be a shame if you didn't, mate. Because there's just a little bit of respect that's been lost, because you didn't quite make it.
See, the pressure's coming on.
But yeah, look, it's been a wild ride for me, and I've got to say, mate, look, we're through it all. We've had our ups and downs.
We've had a good time,
but we've had a bloody good time, and I've loved going and meeting all my customers. So to all the stores, thank you very much for welcoming in most cases, and for making it that much better. And thank you very much to you, the supporters and fans, who have just been brilliant. Like, when I just worked for Fishing News, I thought, it's so awesome to have people come up to me, and I thought, when I move to Ocean Angler, that'll probably just calm down and stuff. But it's actually just increased. So many neat people coming up and saying, "Oh, how you going, Mark? Can I see you and Paul doing your live shows and all that sort of." We love what you do. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for putting up with all my shit. And,
well, thanks for putting up with mine too.
Like it's been a great ride, and I look forward to staying in the industry and meeting up with you guys in person. If you want to go and see me, I'm at Hunting and Fishing North Shore. But there's plenty of other good distributors of ours out there, so don't leave them alone as well. They've still got obviously plenty to offer. But it's been fantastic, mate. So,
I've had a wonderful time too, mate. And thanks so much for helping grow Ocean Angler to where it is today, especially the Z-Man and the soft plate side. It's just like grown so much since you've started. And it's been a fun ride. As you say, ups and downs. You're always going to get that with friends working together. But overall, it's been a
excellent,
great time, and lots of fish caught, and lots of development, and the way I think about fishing's changed. It's just been a really good journey, mate. So thank you, mate.
Cheers.
It's been good fun.
I think the testament to how things are is that I'm still a big supporter of the brands, because like the reason I came to join Ocean Angler is because I like the products, and I still like the products, and so it's going to be an interesting trick for the other brands to actually say, hey, like we have some products that we think are going to compete against these, So I'm looking forward to seeing just how the other brands, because I haven't used anyone else's for a long time now. So just to see whether or not these guys actually, like the different brands actually have competitive ones, or maybe even better. But I haven't sort of seen too much. So. We'll wait and see in the future.
And what's going to be a really good side of it too, mate, is now we can go fishing together and it's not work related. And then I'm really looking forward to it, because that's how we're used to. Work came along, it's still fun, but it's not as much fun as going fishing with your mate and just having a good time, eh? So I'm looking forward to that too.
Absolutely. But so thanks so much, everyone. And from me, it's the last time saying Ocean Angler signing out.
Bye, everyone. Catch you soon. Good on you, mate.